My name is Kamal Warren, and I day trade the FTSE 100.
So can you just take us on a little tour of the platform that you use?
Yes, I can. So let me. Right. So this is the platform that I use, which is IAG Index. As you can see, this is just my watch list, which is just only one. It's quite sad. It's FTSE 100 standing there alone. But if you go to the default page, it just gives you the popular market. So when you open an account, eventually when you have an account.
Or when you have quick internet speed.
Yes, that helps.
That does help.
There you go. It gives you things like that: sell, buy, change, etc., etc. And over here you've got all the toolbars, alerts, which are a bit advanced. So once you find yourself how to navigate around this platform, and if you were to go back, just to keep things simple, I mean, just go back to my FTSE 100. My FTSE 100. That's nice.
So are you not tempted with all the other markets?
I have been, especially when you're a bit bored.
Just looking at that one.
Looking at that one lonely FTSE, just doing what it does, and then suddenly you go back to your platform and you think all the other markets are just flashing and screaming at you blue and red. You just want to see what they're trying to tell you.
So what does blue and red mean?
Well, blue means buy and red means sell.
And so what does it mean when they flash?
Well, that means the prices are changing.
Okay.
So as and when, it's just how the provider chooses to display the changes, really. I mean, doesn't mean a thing. Different provider, they choose to display it in a different way.
Yeah.
So this is where you've got your account, your payments, your balance. Obviously, I'm not going to show that to everybody to see.
I mean, I'm personally very interested.
Well, yeah, we'll have to talk.
Your balance.
We have to talk privately. Yeah. And you've got this little drop-down menu here. So if you click on that, the first one is a deal ticket. So assuming you want to open a trade, short or long.
Yeah.
So the minimum size on a FTSE is £2 a point. So for example, if you click 2 and the button sell and buy comes up, so that means it allows you to open a trade, and you can stipulate your stops, say 20 points, and if you want to put a trailing stops, you can put your trailing stops in here, how many points for the market to hit for your trail to kick in, and limit is where you want to take profits. So you can put, say, maybe 30 pips you want to take profit, and if you click sell, I would open a trade now. If you click buy, again, I would open a trade now, and I'm not going to do that. And the next button below is order to open. So for example, if you don't want to open an order on a real-time basis as and when the action is happening, but if you think you're going to be away from your computer, if it crosses below this R1, or rather the support level here, resistance and support there, if it crosses below there, I want to short the market there. So my sell order would be at 75. So going back to the here, so order to open, you'd click, and then direction, your order level, your size, your stops, etc. That means you're waiting for the price to hit a certain point, and then the platform will automatically trigger the trade for you.
Okay.
And then let's see what's the next one down. Inside is where the IG feeds news with regards to what's going on economic wise, what news is breaking out there. As you can see here, all sorts of things going on, enough things to keep you distracted for the day.
So is that what you would go on to regularly throughout the day?
I wouldn't.
Ever?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't like to be distracted by whatever that news is going on.
One.
Yeah, exactly. My one and only. That's the platform bit, the bits that I use quite a lot. And if you were to go to the charting package, I think IAG itself, they provide two types of chart. One is the basic chart, which I don't use, but it comes free. with the platform itself. You don't have to pay extra, but the one that I use is you can see on the drop down menu is an advanced chart. This one they charge £30 for the month, but I think you got to place, if you place a minimum number of, I don't know, 4 or 5 trades, it's free. So it's helpful if you're trading at least a few trades a month. I would highly recommend this advanced chart. As for me, it contains all the tools that I use, so I don't need anything more than that. Just very quickly to go through what the charting bit does, so that I can start all over again. Right, so this is the normal chart, so you can see your zoom buttons here. And these are all the various tools. The most common tool that you use is your Fibonacci. Again, you can click on the indicator there.
And is this what everyone uses?
This chart?
Yeah.
Well, I would think most traders who are trading with IG, who are serious enough, would use this advanced chart if they want all the tools that comes along with it, all the bells and whistles, if you like. So if you click, so for example, Fibonacci, you click that button, you click here, and then you drag it up to the point where you want, and then you let go. You get all your Fibonacci numbers, and then you got your delete. You've got a support and resistance. By default, the package itself would plot for you. Like I said, you can use that. It is fairly reliable, but you can also use that as a benchmark and then lay on your additional tools there if you want, with different colors. You can delete that, remove that, and if you want to analyze it a bit more, write text and draw arrows. If you're really bored, you can draw arrows and all that. Especially
you seem to like arrows.
Well, I do love arrows, yeah, because
they work for you.
Yeah, they work for me, yes. Yeah.
I see you're working off a PC, so I assume you never use the iPhone or iPad apps.
I do check if I have opened a trade, and then if I have to leave my desk for the day, and if I've got a trade open, then I just check as to what it is doing, but I wouldn't use the iPad or the iPhone as my primary tool. Right, so within this IG platform itself, you can see there is a section called News. Yeah. You can see what I mean, these are quite up to date, as you can see, as and when the news breaks. IG, I think it's a live news feed provided by IG itself. So if you're trading, for example, it's relevant if you're the type of trader where you rely on a bit of fundamental factors and you like to know what's going on with the fundamentals, breaking news as and when they happen. This is a very extremely useful tool, because as and when the news breaks, you can see it just refreshes and populates. If you click on that.
So that last one at 11:55 is the last one that's happened today?
Looks like it. Okay.
News
that is relevant to the market, really. So if you click on that, and then it just opens up a window, tells you what's going on. Okay. European shares set new high, back of minus in China boost, etc. But if that's something that, if you'd like news feeds as and when you're trading, you can use that. The bit that I mentioned earlier is not, probably I just need to retract, because I mentioned about Insight, isn't it? Where's Insight? Yeah. Insight, I think, I don't really use this, but from what I think it's not really news per se, but it's really with regards to the general consensus with what other traders are doing with any particular market. So for example, if we look at the FTSE 100, I think it gives you, to be perfectly honest with you, I've never navigated my way around this. There you go. As you can see, for example, top movers, these are different Standard Chartered, different individual companies, and it tells you what is the sell with regards to the buy. I think that's what this mentions. And also, generally, I think it gives you a pictorial sort of reflection of what the market is doing with regards to a particular share, or even currency for that matter.
So is this necessarily helpful, or is it more interesting?
Well, for me it's not, but for some other traders it may be relevant. Yeah. But for me, because I only trade the FTSE, not individual companies. But if you're trading, for example, Sainsbury's, then you'd want to see what's going on. If you click on that, it'll just bring up the charts, etc. Okay.
So is that news already factored into the markets?
Well, in most cases, because there is something that's known as a funny breed of people called analysts, and they tend to project ahead as to what the news is expected to be. So, for example, profit forecast of Sainsbury's maybe. So the market would sort of anticipate an X amount of profits or loss to be announced, and generally the price action within the share itself would have taken that news into consideration. So the price would have factored the news in. But having said that, when the actual news itself breaks, that's why human beings are quite a peculiar being. When the price actually breaks, when the news actually breaks, there are still volatility. But that's just how it is.